Hello. So this video will be will cover the third part of your fourth module. Okay. So that is called as comparison of alternatives. Okay. Let's see what all contents or what all topics will cover this part. So the contents present in this part are we have to see there are different kinds of alternatives. Okay, comparison of alternatives. So first we'll go through present worth method. Okay, then is annual equivalent. Then is capitalized and rate of return methods, and then minimum cost analysis and break even analysis. So we'll go through this topic. So comparison of alternatives. Okay, in all engineering problems, the engineers encounter one important question as to which project to select. Okay, there will be n number of alternatives, n number of ways or procedures to conduct your work. So which one to select is the question. So there are different kinds of alternatives. They are present worth method, second is future worth method, annual equivalent method, rate of return method, and payback method. Okay, so let's go through one first one, that is present worth method. Conditions for present worth method. Okay, there are few conditions. First is to estimate the interest rate that the firm wishes to earn on its investment. Okay, we are going to focus on estimating the interest rate. Second is determine the service life of the project. Okay, how long it's going to worthwhile. Third is determine the cash inflows over each service life, right? Cash inflows you have to find. Also, cash outflows over each service period, both cash inflows and cash outflows. Lastly, you have to estimate the net cash flows, okay? That is inflows minus outflows. So, these are the main things you're going to find. So, let's move further. So if there is a single investment period, whether a project will be selected or rejected, that can be made accordingly. See this three conditions. See, if PW is greater than 0, then you have to select the proposal. Okay, a positive NPW means equivalent worth of the inflows is greater than the equivalent worth of the outflows. So the project will make profit out of it. Okay, that is one condition. When PW is greater than 0, you are going to select the proposal. Second is if PW is lesser than 0, reject the investment project. Okay, a negative NPW means the equivalent worth of inflows is lesser than the equivalent worth of outflows. In the first condition, it is greater than. In the second condition, equivalent worth flows are lesser. Okay. Third is PW is equal to 0. Given indifferent to the investment. Okay, PW is directly equal to 0. So here in this method, in present worth method, there are two terms, that is revenue based present worth and cost based present worth. Even while solving problem, you have to solve based on both. Okay. revenue based present worth. Okay, there's a diagram which I couldn't make it right now. I'll send a picture. So refer that diagram. Okay, while seeing this. So in revenue or profit dominated cash flow diagram, the profit, revenue, salvage value, that is all inflows to the organization, will be assigned with positive sign. Okay, remember, profit, revenue and salvage value will be always positive. The cost outflows will be assigned with the negative sign. Okay, inflows are positive, outflows are with negative sign. So refer this diagram from the textbook. I'll send a picture. So when you refer that, here P is the initial investment, okay, and RN is the net revenue at the end of nth year. Okay, I will be your interest rate compounded annually, and S is going to be your salvage value at the end of nth year. Okay, please refer the diagram while seeing. Now is to find the present worth of the cash flow. So to find the present worth of the cash flow from the above diagram, from the diagram for a given interest rate, the formula is PW into I is equal to minus R1 by 1 plus I whole to the power of 1. Okay, it will keep on increasing to nth different power, plus R2 by 1 plus I whole to the power of 2 plus dash 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 plus Rn by 1 plus I to the power of n plus S by 1 plus I to the power of n. Or you can rewrite like Pw into I is equal to minus P plus R1 into P by F comma I comma 1 plus R2 into P by F comma I comma 2 plus dash till n Rn P by F I comma n plus S into P by F comma I comma n. So if it is a uniform series or equal payment series, then the formula will be, just go through, refer the uniform series and equal payment series. PW into I is equal to, PW of I is minus P plus R into P by F comma I comma n. Okay, where your numbers you are rewriting as n plus S into P by F comma I comma n. Now we will check on cost based present worth. Okay, so here also there is a diagram. Okay, cash flow diagram is there. Please refer. In a cost dominated cash flow diagram, the cost outflows will be assigned positive sign. Okay, now in this outflows will be negative. Okay, arrows will come down, and the profit, revenue, salvage value, all the inflows will be assigned with the negative sign. Okay, outflows will be positive and inflows will be negative. Please refer the diagram. So through the diagram there is C1, C2, C3, C and all the notations in which C is the initial investment. Okay, Cn is the net cost of operation and maintenance at the end of nth year. Okay, so the operation and maintenance cost will be denoted by Cn. S is the salvage value at the end of nth year. Okay, C1 is the discounted rate of interest. Is the discounted rate of interest. Okay, so that the present worth for this cost-based present worth formula is given by Pw of I is equal to P plus C1 by 1 plus I to the power n plus C2 by 1 plus I to the power of 2 plus go on till n. Okay, Cn by 1 plus I to the power of n minus S by 1 plus I to the power of n. So once you complete, you rewrite that like Pw of I is equal to minus P plus C1 P by F comma I comma 1 plus C2 P by F comma I comma 2 plus till n Cn into P by F comma I comma n minus S into P by F comma I comma n. Here, if it is uniform series or equal payment series, then the formula will be Pw of I is equal to P plus C into P by F comma I comma n plus S into P by F comma I comma n. So in this case, the decision is to select the alternative with the maximum profit, okay, the one which has more value. Then the alternative with the maximum present worth will be selected. So basically you are focusing on one which has maximum value, okay, that only will be selected for as alternative. If the decision is to select the alternative with the minimum cost, then the alternative with the least present worth amount will be selected. If you want to select the alternative with the maximum, then the one with the maximum present worth value will be taken. If you want least, then least will be taken. Okay, you can go ahead like that. So this is also important. Okay, it's been asked for exams, so please go through this. Now let us see about comparison by equivalent annual worth. Okay, here there are various alternatives for comparing the worthiness of a project. Equivalent annual worth, that is EAW, is one of the important methods for comparing engineering alternatives. Okay, so yeah, various alternatives are there. So this is one of the important one. In an annual worth method, all the receipts and disbursements occurring over a period are converted to equivalent uniform yearly amount. Okay, there is conversion happening here. EAW is a popular method because of a year's profit and losses are taken into account. Okay, so both profit and losses are considered. A large number of engineering economic decisions are based on this comparison. I mean the alternative method using this, and so the term equivalent uniform yearly amount is often used. For example, cost accounting procedures, okay, your depreciation charges, okay, tax calculations, these are etc. These tabulations are generally make the annual worth method easier. So the tabulations cost accounting and tax calculation, depreciation calculations is carried out like using this method. The annual, if you see there's a formula it's given by EAW is equal to PW into I into 1 plus I to the power of n by 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. Please go through this. Next important term we will study about the alternatives through rate of returns method. Okay, so the rate of return technique is one of the method used in selecting an alternative for a project. Okay, this method is helps you in selecting the best of the alternative. So in this method, the interest rate per period is determined, okay, which equates the equivalent worth of cash flows to the cash inflows of an alternative. Okay, so what does this method do? It helps you determine the interest period. Okay, and there are basically three rate of returns. Okay, one is the minimum acceptable rate of return. It's called as MARR. Then the second rate of return is the internal rate of return, okay, indicated as IRR, and third is external rate of return, that is ERR. Let's go through what it means. So minimum acceptable rate of return, okay, that is MARR. This is the rate set by an organization to designate the lower level of return that makes an investment acceptable. Okay, the least or the lower level of the return, it helps you like accept your investment. Okay, that way. So next is internal rate of return, IRR. So this is the rate of the uncovered balance of the investment in the situation where the terminal balance is zero. Okay, it is the discount rate at which NPV is equal to zero. So this is indicated zero here. Okay, so that's what it's a situation where the balance terminal balance is zero. Next is external rate of return method. So this is the rate of return that is possible to obtain for an investment under current economic consideration. Please go through these definitions. They can ask separately. Okay, the rate of return methods, types, or definitions. They might ask, like, go through it. So next is capitalized cost analysis. I'll read this out. Capitalized cost represents the present worth of an alternative for a project. Okay, the present worth of the alternative of a project that is going to serve for a very longer period of time. Okay, so that is infinite period of time. Okay, this is the cost that is kept secured for like infinity, where time is not mentioned, but yeah, it is an important term to consider. So as the name indicates, it refers to the present worth of mainly cost or expenditures, that is cash outflows, of the alternative over infinite period of time. Capitalized worth refers to present worth of expenditures and revenue of the alternative over infinite period. Okay, so what it refers, the present worth of your expenditures and revenues. Okay, so like example, I can give you bridges, dams, and irrigation projects, and pipelines, or the water supply system. See, these are something that you need in your day-to-day life. So you need to have a proper service and check on that. So the capitalized cost method is used for comparison of mutually exclusive alternatives which have perceptual service. Okay, so examples are here: bridges, dams, irrigation projects, water supply, pipeline projects, etc. So this method is also used for finding out the capitalized cost of permanent fellowship, scholarship, endowment in educational institutes and other organizations. So it's a sort of analysis through which your present work, um, the one which is it refers to the present worth of your two things, that is expenditures and revenue. Okay, over some random time. Okay, so here we have completed with the capitalized cost analysis. Next, let's go through one term that is called as break-even analysis. Okay, the last concept of this unit. Let's go through that. So next, let's go through break-even analysis. So this is nothing but a financial tool, okay, which helps you determine at what stage your company or new service or a product, anything it can be, it will take profit, okay. So it's a tool helping you to determine at what stage your company or a service or a product is going to help you find where it's like being profitable. So it's a calculation for determining the number of products or services a company should sell to cover its cost, okay. So this is the diagram. So in the yeah, towards x-axis, quantity of x, okay, that is what is mentioned. In the vertical, you have to rate with the equivalent worth in rupees, okay. So when you draw for revenue and expenditures, so where both are going to like clash, and that point is called as break even point, okay. So if you vertically come down towards quantity of x, so that is when that point is referred as break even point, okay. But revenue and expenditure breaks, that point is called as break even, and over quantity of x, this is actual point, break even point, okay. So the break even analysis is used to calculate the value of a factor, okay, or a variable at which the expenditures and revenues of a project or alternative are equal, okay. So yeah, it's used to calculate the factor, value of a variable at which these two things, expenditures and revenues, meet, okay. This value of variable is known as break even point. So corresponding to the break even point, either profit or loss both can be determined if the expected value of the variable is higher or lower than the break even value, okay. Based on the break even value, you will figure out the profit loss, okay, based on that. So in this regard, the break even point governs the economic acceptability of the project or the alternative, okay. So next, the break-even analysis is also used for comparing two alternatives by determining the break-even point, okay. That is the quantity of factor at which the total equivalent worth of both alternatives are equal, okay. So here, while drawing the diagram, okay, while making the graph, in case if the expected value of x is lesser than the break even value, alternative 1 is selected. You will get to know while like solving further problems, okay. It is selected as it is the total equivalent worth, okay, that is lesser than the alternative 2. So two alternatives are there, alternative 1 and 2, so you have to go through it. I'll explain it in the problem. So here the second point is the examples of some of the factors which are used in the break-even analysis are quantities produced per year, number of hours of operation per year, rate of return per year, useful life, etc. So these are few examples which is used in this analysis. So and the break-even value of these factors are calculated to find out the economical acceptability of a single alternative, or to select the best one of it. So and here the break-even point between expenditure and revenue for a single alternative is shown. So that is in the first diagram, okay. break-even analysis. Before starting it, I explained you a diagram. So there X is the factor that mainly affects the expenditure and revenue of the alternative. So this is about break-even analysis. Like I told you, one moment. It is nothing but a tool that helps you to determine in which stage your company is making profit, okay, yeah, or any product, to what level it is making sales, making profit. So it's under based on that. So please have a look. It in the class I might like explain it once again, and also we have problems which I'll be sharing later on in other videos. So this will complete your third part of fourth module. That is basically, yeah, you will finish fourth module, but we have two kinds of problems left. If I complete that, we'll finish this module as well. So please go through and refer question papers and try to like recall what things, what are the ones, what questions are have been asked repeatedly. Please go through that. So I'll wind this. Thank you.